everybody, and welcome back to the Helix. Today on the Helix, we'll be covering Modern, and there's a lot of changes happening in Modern lately, so let's get started. On February 3rd, the new ban list came out, banning Deathrite Shaman and unbetting Bitter Blossom and Wild Nikado. This is a big splash in Modern because the ban list does not see a lot of movement, and it's nice to see more and more cards come off the ban list. However, it is a bit close to the Pro Tour next week, so let's go through a couple of those cards to see how that's going to affect the tournament. Deathrite Shaman seems like a pretty simple card, 1 mana, 1/2. It's probably one of the most efficient creatures in the format, though. And the one thing that breeds his efficiency is his versatility, because he can either ramp your mana, it can start killing your opponent 2 damage at a time, or save you from an imminent death. Another reason why this card's banning might change the format is that it really suppresses graveyard decks, as that one exile card can mean the whole difference to a graveyard strategy, like Goyo's Revenge, Vengevine decks, or even my favorite, Life from the Loam. And without this key card in the main deck, it'll be interesting to see how much these decks win at Game 1. A suitable replacement for Deathrite Shaman is Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze still gives you the graveyard removal, along with a little bit of power behind it, but is a bit slower. Moving on to our unbanned cards, Wild Nikado's back in Modern. The only surprise here is why it was banned in the first place. Wizards argued that Zoo was too powerful to let other aggro decks shine, but in actuality that was Affinity, and that still is the case today. Moving on from Wild Nikado, Bitter Blossom, our other unbanned card, promises to be a powerful force in this modern metagame. Bitter Blossom has a lot of people talking about maybe there being a fairy deck again, but I think the money is in tokens. Tokens is one of the most powerful strategies in the format already, and with a late game card like Bitter Blossom, which can also give you a lot of defense and offense in the early game, with very little cost to yourself, is a very powerful card, and giving you long reach in this metagame. Here's my list for Bitter Blossom tokens. This deck thrives on late game advantage, while also putting a huge amount of pressure early, making your opponent waste resources when they don't necessarily have to. And when you get off a successful Honor the Pure or Intangible Virtue with several tokens in play, you've got a force to be reckoned with. One of my favorite cards in the deck, though, is also one of the newest. Brimaz, the King, is here. At 3 mana for a 3/4 Vigilance that spits out a token every time it does combat isn't half shabby, and I think you'll be really happy to have it in this deck that can power it up as well, with cards like Zealous Persecution and the enchantments we just talked about. If I had to make a prediction about the Modern Pro Tour, I'd say that Tron, black-white tokens, and some variety of red, white, and blue control or mid-range are going to be the top picks for this format, and I can't wait to see come Thursday. See you guys later, and as always, Jesus loves you.